General Ferguson, Sergeant Major Waldo, Jocko. Welcome to Jedburgh Podcast, Stars and Stripes Classic. We're sitting here in the end zone. We're in the truck. I mean, what more thing you ask for?
Very cool. Outstanding.
we could be winning. That'd be the only other thing I would ask for.
Yeah.
Battle, though.
There's only a few minutes left in the game, right? And so we have our rivalry in the truck, which we haven't had yet today. And the SEALs are up by 2. But Jocko, for a second, just talk about what this game means.
I think it's just a great opportunity to get together and support the Green Beret Foundation and the Navy SEAL Foundation. Those are organizations that I know have been very impactful and really helped me out and my guys' families out. So to be able to support them is just, it's a good thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
Yeah. Sir, from your perspective, what's it mean to be out here?
Yeah, it's hard to add anything onto what Jocko said. You know, I mean, great organizations and really a great opportunity for our folks to get out here and compete against one another. You know, I mean, we all know our organizations are both full of really competitive people. They're looking for opportunities to go out there and compete, test themselves. You know, I mean, we got guys out there that haven't played lacrosse in a long time.
Yeah.
You know, it's just really cool to see.
What do you think about the competition level?
From what I understand, these guys have played at every level, including in the professional league. So you've got some really highly skilled people out there.
Yeah, I think, last time we chatted, we were in Normandy. Now you got us here in the end zone at Gillette Stadium. So when the razor hit my head this morning, it felt even a little bit tighter, but it's super easy to be ordinary. But what you're seeing out here is extraordinary. And what I love most about it, when I was talking to Normandy, I said the wish is that America could look into our formations and see the best of itself. And that's exactly what you're seeing out here. We're fighting hard, we're fighting each other, but our adversaries know when we fight joint. So you see the baddest son of the guns out here fighting each other, but they're going to come together, and it's extraordinary.
Yeah, Jocko, for a second, talk about the relationship between the Green Berets and the Navy SEALs and exactly what the Sergeant Major is talking about. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah, for me, I spent time on the battlefield with the Army, with the Marine Corps, and with the Navy, and I don't buy into any of the rivalry. I just don't. It's not my thing. The Army literally saved my guys' lives. The Marine Corps saved my guys' lives. I love the Army. I love the Marine Corps. I love the Navy. I'm glad to be here and supporting both these organizations.
Yeah. Well, we appreciate you taking a couple minutes. We know we got to get you over there because there's only a couple minutes left, and they want you on the sidelines. But it's always good seeing you. Last time we got to catch up was CrossFit Games last year. Right on. I had a really awesome conversation about your perspective on leadership. I always look forward to talking
Awesome.
to you.
Thanks for having me. Good to see you.
All right.
Gentlemen, thank you. Appreciate it. Right on. Thanks, fellas.
I take care.
We'll catch up with you.
Good luck.
Thanks. Likewise.
All right, so we got a couple of minutes left over here. Okay, Jocko's the honorary captain, so we had to get him over there to those guys. But about 7 minutes left in the game. We're down by 2, so we need one of those 2-point goals. But when we think about creating an environment like this, okay, putting these two teams, putting the foundation, putting our Green Berets out there on this field in front of this crowd, at a time where you and I have talked about it, all three of us have talked about it in our previous conversations, we want to have an impact on recruiting, and this is putting us front and center.
Yeah, yeah, I hope so. I hope it makes an impact. This is the kind of thing that we love to be involved in, just because it gets our folks out there. We've talked a lot. I mean, it's a double-edged sword. The way we've the way we've sort of isolated ourselves on military installations and that type thing. I mean, for all the right reasons, security and all that. But there's everything's a risk in a trade, right? And so one of the trades I think is that people just aren't exposed to. Sorry, I'm getting really.
Yeah, no, we got to pay attention
to
to what's going on.
Yeah, but there's definitely a trade-off that people just aren't as exposed to our folks as much anymore. And sometimes, even in events like this, we've got to really work hard to connect. It's one thing to be out on the field playing the sport. It's another thing to actually connect with young folks that might have an idea of wanting to come into the service. So,
yeah, 100%. I think we're quiet professionals, and America doesn't get to see what we get to see every single day.
Yeah.
When you come out here and you see this, and our guys are out here interacting with folks, making eye contact, you can feel it. Our folks can talk about what they do without having to say a word, and it's beautiful. So it's just a great opportunity.
So we've had a chance to now see the results of General Ferguson's last episode. with us, which has done remarkably well. Millions of engagements. And Sergeant Major, your episode's still pending from our conversation on the wall.
That's the next competition.
That's what I've been telling everybody about it. I've already told them.
You're gonna get the bots working in your favor.
Chieftain and I.
They're all waiting on it. But I want to resurface on something that came up in some of the feedback that we got on those conversations, primarily about what you call candor.
Yeah.
And a commander or a leader's ability to be honest and upfront and have difficult conversations with their people. Why is that so important?
Well, nobody likes being told that their idea isn't going to work. And I'm not talking about negativity. I'm just talking about reality. Nobody likes to be told that their idea isn't necessarily feasible or viable, even if it's just not feasible or viable at that point in time. Nobody likes to be told that, hey, you're not the guy, you're not going to be the first string quarterback, you're going to be the backup. Nobody likes being told that, but we owe it to ourselves, because ultimately, if we're expecting people to follow us into combat, then we have to be able, they have to know that they can trust us. They have to know that. And the only way they can trust us is if they know that they can come to us as leaders and say, hey, we're not seeing this. We don't think this is the right time. We don't think this is the best way to do it. Hey, here's a better way to do it. If we can't have those conversations, if we're not secure enough as leaders to have those conversations, then we don't deserve their trust.
Yeah. How do you build trust?
Number one, you're authentic in who you are. For us, it's a little bit easy because we start with a hardship. We start with a common shared experience. But you made it whenever you do an after-action review after an event. And it's fun, you get our folks together and you talk about candor. One of the quote was, man, no one punches yourselves in the face harder than you guys. Oh. And you're like, you're right. So, but trust is coming from authentic. It's coming a common purpose and understanding the bigger picture.
Yeah. There's a lot of folks here watching this game.
Yeah.
Okay, they're watching it on ESPN Plus. They're in the stands. There's a lot of folks who are sitting in that. Yeah.
They just scored again.
Yeah, it just went down 3.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of folks who are sitting there going, I want to be one of these guys out on that field.
Yeah.
What do you tell them?
First of all, we tell them we want them to do that too. We always try to have an honest conversation with folks, and talk to them about what it takes, if they're, and I mean, obviously that's a little bit age dependent, right? I mean, if they're really young, we just want them to stay interested, Mm-hmm. We try to be honest and forthright with them. It's a challenging undertaking, and so we want to make sure people understand that too, that you don't just walk out there and make it, but we want to encourage as many people to join as possible. There's a fulfillment that you get from the service that I do think is unlike, I don't know, I haven't done a lot of other things, I guess, so maybe I can't compare it, but there's certainly a fulfillment that comes along with service that we want to encourage.
And the beautiful thing about our formations is that we have.
There we go. We just got one.
All right, we just scored.
Perfect time.
All right, there we go.
But we got everything from professional athletes to Division I athletes, all the way down to me, and I was a third-string quarterback for my high school team. So you don't have to be a superstar. We have those.
Yeah.
You can just be someone that tries a little bit harder, has a little bit more steel in their spine, is not afraid to put themselves in the arena, that puts the task over the expectation and credit. If that's you, come on and hang out with us, because we love you. We love you to the bone.
That was way better than what I said, by the way. That was a way better answer.
I think I'm
just going to be candid.
No. That's what we need. All right, we got 4 minutes left. We're going to get back on that sidelines because we got to see how these guys are going to make out too. Thanks for taking a couple minutes with me, sir.
Thanks, Fran. Awesome. Love the
Always
truck.
love having you guys on.
Yeah.